They say the glory of the youth is in their strength. But what happens when this strength is tested? What happens when this strength experienced something or experiences something that can be quite challenging? I mean, what would you expect the youth to do? And so today we are going to be having an amazing person who, of course, has had so many experiences, moments that tested him, that almost broke him, but that something kept him standing. And before we go on to our guest for today, I remain your very proud host, Bucologist. Who do we have here?
Good day, everyone. My name is Adebisi Habeeb, the CEO of Supreme Empire Integrated Service Limited. So, in our company, what do we deal with? We own a laundromat, auto service, and also we are into agro services too. So,
Okay, I believe you must have had experiences. Yes, you do talk about the fact that you've had experiences. Some things have happened, that has tested you at one point or the other. And we would love to hear your story. We would like to know, what this exact thing is about. Would you mind sharing?
okay, a lot of story, a lot of stories.
Just let's do one or
But
two.
then let me start with the one that happened like few years back.
All right.
When during my early years on campus, when I get admission, so I was staying with
You are
Muslim
still a
brother,
student, you mean?
a final student.
All right.
So I was staying with a brother, so a Muslim brother, and just looking for a way to survive, just that moment, just to survive. You get. So I thought of starting a business that I learned when I was in secondary school, which is barbing. So I started a mobile barbing business in Awol. So during that period, I was able to survive actually. So, but then there was a point that okay, the school security, they came to that place and they were like, I'm doing an illegal job for the fact that I was not an illegal occupant. You get. So they were like, okay, they took me to floor. So I was questioned for real. So they asked, okay, and they threatened me for real. Like they were like, okay, they are going to terminate my studentship and all. And I was
Wow.
like, yo, sir, I beg,
Wow.
I beg. I'm just, I need to survive being a student on campus. It's not easy. So please let me be here. I won't go back to that place again. So, and that was how I stopped the mobile barbing
Doing it.
business then. So that was it.
But you talking about, coming to school and having the mindset of, surviving. Is that how it has always been right from childhood for you? Have you always tried to just find a way to survive? I mean, looking at you look like a tough person. So maybe, I'm just curious.
Yeah, actually, since I was a child, like a very little boy, so I've actually been a business person. But even that time, I didn't know about what entrepreneur is.
It's about.
You get. But then, during the season of Orange, I work Orange, to get some pocket money, as a child now, when you go to school, when you want to buy a biscuit, like that one of just having things in your pocket. So I love that because when I hawk, I'll see my profits. Probably when they say you should sell something at the rate of 200 naira, and I was able to sell at the rate of 250. That 50 naira will still be there. Yet, even though if I get any amount of money from anybody, I'll still have that my personal money with me.
Wow.
So
that's how it has always been. So I believe that did that feel like an obligation for you at that point, or it was like something you did because you just liked doing the business?
Yeah, I enjoyed doing it.
Wow.
For real. I just enjoyed doing it because then I didn't need the motivation or anything. When after school, I would just, I already have that mama that always have the goods on ground that, okay, ma, can I hug this one? How much do you want to sell it? So I enjoyed doing it.
Wow. Well, I need to point something out actually. Personally, I'm also a barber. You might not believe it. But I'm a barber too.
Wow.
And barbing is fun. It's
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
the most
actually,
interesting
actually.
things I've ever done in my
You know,
life.
when you bow for someone and the person look more handsome, and you
It's
be like,
it's it's
yo,
it's
I
beyond
did it.
explanation. Trust me, I can't explain in words, but it's beyond explanation. Now, getting to school, I mean, after you were stopped from your barbing business when you're in school and everything, what did you have to do? How did you get back into business? How did you arrive to this stage? What were the things that led to your growth, to you becoming a CEO as of now? I mean, from being the guy that used to do mobile barbing to a CEO. So, I mean, what was the journey like?
Okay, the first thing that happened after then is the fact that I didn't let that moment, that painful moment, to to determine my future. You get. So from there, I needed to just go back to hostel, with that my Muslim brother, and I was like, you, it has happened.
Right.
So, and I was like, sir, anything that I feel like I can do, or anything that you're actually doing
Mm-hmm.
that I can do, I'm already on campus. And during that time that I was doing the barbing, I was able to save some money. So as I was discussing with him, and he said, okay, what about me learning something digital? Okay, what
Wow.
about just finding something online, doing and
Mm-hmm.
all. So from there we discussed about financial markets. Then, and he said something about, if I want to do something like that, I need to like see people doing it. Like I need to meet people,
Mm-hmm.
connect with people, not something that I can just be doing, or
Doing on the
just
whole.
not something that I can just be learning from one person. So from there, I started attending financial conferences on campus. Ududua, or we have different conferences then. So I started attending, yet, and I met people. Yeah, I met people. I network with people. I started learning. Something that's supposed to be like one-on-one person.
Yeah.
I was able to network with people, learn
People.
from different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and that was how I started.
Wow. You were able to tap from different wells of knowledge,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
the accumulation of the knowledge you've combined is like going to be a whole lot.
For real.
That's amazing. And talking about that, I mean, you talked about the fact that you went for conferences, Abi, you went for seminars, you had to network with people. And honestly, I would like to just hear something from you. What exactly can you say about, there are people watching you right now, there are people listening to you right now. What would you teach them in 2 minutes that they would never be able to learn in school? Like something that you were able to learn from the conferences, or that you were able to build up through the conferences, through the networking. Maybe things you learned, things you were made to understand, and everything that maybe in school, even in a business school, you may never get to hear it. So can you give us a 2 minutes, quick thing?
Okay. The first thing I did when I was participating in that financial market conferences and all was that I was volunteering for a lot of things, with the startups, then Price, student entrepreneur, a lot, ASIDO too. So, business school, let's say business school in general, they will teach you theories, you get now.
Yeah.
But then what I learned while I was doing that was that, the way people behave when it comes to working as a team, you get the way people behave, and also when it comes to business, like we're talking about business, there's a way people behave compared to when we're just talking as a friend. So stuff like that.
So there's a difference between business behavior and human behavior in that aspect, I want to believe.
Yeah, for example now, whenever I'm with my classmates, we joke, okay, want to do things, okay, can we do it like this, or. But then when it comes to business, we have to be serious. This is business. We always put whatever we
You put
discuss as a
emotions apart.
friend, you get,
You put emotions apart.
okay, alpha, I never chop today. When it comes to
You
business,
separate
down
that.
day.
Talking about your journey as a student and an entrepreneur, did you at a point in time make mistakes? Did you make any mistake? How did you go about those mistakes? I mean, let me ask first, did you make mistakes? I
Of
mean,
course, mistakes are a normal thing for
what sort of mistakes?
Okay, as a student that is also an entrepreneur, the mistake I made that is significant, that was very significant, was the fact that, because it's already past. I can't do such again.
Again.
Then I was trying to survive, but then when you leave that surviving mode, but you are building now, trying to do a lot of things at the same time, trying to do a lot of businesses. Okay, you have this idea. Okay, you can do this. You actually believe yourself that you can do anything. That you believe
You can do anything.
you can do anything.
Once
So
you believe
and I feel like okay, I can do this. I can do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. For example, now, I told you in the beginning that we have a laundromat, right?
Yeah.
So then I was the one doing the whole work, the auto business too. A customer will call that, I want to, like, do you have this particular car? Can we get it from you? Are you available while I'm in class? Do you get? The same time, I was collecting work from different type of people. For example, police, uniform, their uniform, bankers. Some will call you that, sir, in class, while I was in class, they will, hello, can I get the clothes now? I need to be somewhere, I need to be at somewhere, I need to, all those things. So, managing this whole stuff together at the same time, like doing those things together at the same time, then without having people that can actually help, that can help me to manage whenever I'm not around. So that was a big mistake for me.
Wow. So that means you did not embrace the concept of delegation, the fact that you can't do everything at once. You can't do everything alone. You'd always need people. And I think there's also the fact that, you are not, as much as we want to make ourselves to believe the fact that we can do everything, you're actually not strong at doing everything. You have weaknesses, and there should be people who can complement those weaknesses. There should be people who can complement the places where you feel like you are lacking or something. I want to believe that's like the concept. But that's amazing. Now, what was the structure that saved you from that particular, situation? Now, you used to make that mistake. That was a mistake you used to make. You found it hard to delegate to people, or to find people around you. So, did you have a structure? Were you able to build a structure that eventually saved you from most of these things?
Yeah.
What was the structure?
So I discovered something that, and that was time management. So from there, I was able to know about priorities. Yes. Then, I will have to do this while I'm in class. But then, okay, there's time for everything. And talking about the dedication, then priority. So I was able to, okay, get a staff, right, that will be helping me with the washing and
things.
So okay, if you can be washing, if it comes to the delivery part, I will put everything around the time that I won't be in class. You get? And also doing a lot of things, want to make money and know when the time the priority comes in is the fact that, whenever I have exam, that I need to be serious. Now I focus more on my education. You get? This time around, I'm not looking for money to to build or to buy a car or to get a project done. Now I just need money to eat. But then then I save now. So that money that I do save, I will use the money to eat.
Save it through
because
that
this moment, I know that this moment, the most priority is the fact that I need to read, I need to pass my exam. Do you get? So that is basically the structure.
Wow. So that's more like
setting priority.
So that's more or less like you trying to strike a balance. I'm trying to understand.
The balancing.
All right. Just like you, there are many other students out there. There are several students out there who also want to delve into business while still in school, who also feel like, okay, there's a lot they can do, or they have, ideas and everything. What would you like to tell them? What would you like to say to them?
The first thing is that you should be intentional with whatever you are doing. You might feel like you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. Calm down, relax. Discover yourself first. Let me put that on. Discover yourself. Know who you are. Know your weaknesses. Know your your strengths. Know what you can actually do more. Even when you have a lot of distraction around you, know what you can actually do, like, without stressing yourself too much. Because see, at the end of the day, I said something earlier that we human, we do believe in ourselves, like you can do it. We do say you can do it. See, you can do it right. But then, putting a lot of things, doing a lot of things at the same time is always be somehow. So, have that intention. Know what you want, like what you need at a particular moment. Not just you want to. People say they want to make money. They want to make money. Calm down. There are a lot of ways that you can use to make money, right? You can be doing physical things and you'll be making money. You can also be doing something digital and you'll be making money. So just calm down. Know yourself first. Know yourself, and from there. Also, okay, let me say something. If you want to start anything, I will always advise that someone asked me that if I want to start all over, what am I going to do differently? What I'm going to do differently is that getting a mentor, someone that is already successful in that particular niche. You get the person, get ready to learn. See, okay, about trading, I'm a trader now. So there are a lot of things that you won't even see online. You won't hear it from anybody. You can only hear it from your mentor. You get, so that is actually what I can say to you.
Beautiful, beautiful. In other words, before you do anything, before you start anything, sit down first and learn. Without learning, there's going to be a lot of troubles while going into the major thing. And that's how we are going to have it for today, guys. Until the next time that we meet, make sure that you only stay and hold on to what exactly you need and leave the rest. So the next time we see Imole Aton.